my pleasure today to talk with you about financial aid. This is part 4 of our video series. What's great about financial aid is that I remember going through the process because I could not have gone to college without financial aid myself. We have such terrific resources here at CC. So our Office of Financial Aid is a wonderful, wonderful place to go to for more information. If you go to coloradocollege.edu/financial aid, our contact information is there for our financial aid colleagues, as well as many resources and a lot of detailed information. So please feel free to explore and examine that. Something that I would also recommend reflecting on my financial aid application process is you can't reach out enough with questions. So if there are things that you're unclear about or you're not sure, really feel empowered and encouraged to write, to call, to email, because the experts are here and they're very willing and ready to help. For today, we're going to talk a little bit more foundationally about financial aid, sort of painting in broader strokes, if you will. I think a good place to start, I know sometimes when we look at the price of college, and particularly the liberal arts colleges, we see that price and we think, oh wow, never mind, this can't happen anymore. I remember doing that too. So the sticker shock, they call it. Sometimes what ends up happening is these really expensive schools actually have more financial aid available. So it's really worth your time to investigate and to see what kind of financial aid options there are after you see that total price and wondering, how could I afford this? How would this work? What's really terrific about Colorado College is our commitment to meet 100% of your family's eligibility for need-based aid. This is a really important piece to keep in mind because we're only one of 66 schools in the country that can meet full need. So what does that mean? So when you apply for financial aid, the two main documents to keep in mind are the FAFSA and the CSS profile. And so when you apply, if you are a U.S. citizen, you will use both of those forms. If you are an international student, if you are undocumented or DACA, you will only use the CSS profile. What's important to keep in mind is we need these forms to be completed accurately and on time in order for the Colorado College commitment to meet 100% of your financial need. So that's the commitment, is that we can commit to meeting 100% of your need as demonstrated by the FAFSA and the CSS profile. So it's very, very important that those forms are submitted on time and accurately in order for us to do so. When you're going through the process, please do keep in mind that there are resources on the financial aid website to help you. So for instance, there is the net price calculator, which can give you an estimate for what your financial aid package will look like. So if you're wondering as you're going through this how much you could anticipate or how much you could estimate, that's a really great resource. And it's a nice thing to do as a family. There'll be questions that you may not know, and you may need to have a family member or guardian with you about questions about assets and so forth. So that's a really great resource that you can use as well. Okay, so the last thing I'd say about the deadlines is keeping in mind that your financial aid application is due in accordance to your admission deadline, and that can be referred to in part 3 of our video series. You can learn more about early action and early decision and regular action and what that all means, because I know it's a lot of jargon, it's a lot to keep straight. But when you apply in accordance to those deadlines, that's when your financial aid application is also due. So for instance, if you're applying early action and early decision round 1, that deadline is November 1st. So your financial aid application is due on November 1st. If you're applying early decision 2 or regular action, that admission deadline is January 15th. Therefore, your financial aid application deadline is due on January 15th. So really keeping in mind that both of those deadlines go together is very important, because every year a few students will email me after they get their admit letter, after they get their admit decision, and say, I'm so excited. I was wondering if it's too late to apply for financial aid, and it is too late because we've already allocated and committed all of that financial aid to all the students that have been admitted who applied on time. So that is something to keep in mind. Lots to keep in mind, I know, but that's a really important one we wanted to make sure that you were aware of. So in terms of merit scholarships, every college is a little bit different with how they approach merit scholarships and financial aid. So with CC, our main priority is ensuring that we're meeting financial need. So we have allocated about $40 million to students every year for financial need. So merit for us is a piece of the puzzle, but it's not a main piece of the financial aid package unless you're applying for some of our specialized merit scholarships. So for instance, if you go to our website, you'll learn about the Barnes, the LPMAR, the Daniels Fund, and the Betcher, which are all scholarships that you would apply for separately. And they all have separate designations. But for the Barnes, if you're interested and very strong student in chemistry and biochemistry, that's a great opportunity for you to look into further. The Betcher and the LPMAR and the Daniels Fund scholarships are for Coloradans. So if you're a Coloradan, we do have some special merit scholarships that are for you because they're tied to Colorado-based foundations. Speaking of special initiatives for Coloradans, we have, if you haven't heard already, something called the Colorado Pledge, which is really exciting. It's a pilot donor initiative, which is a commitment to ensure that for Coloradan students, that Colorado College can be as affordable as the state flagship university. So if you go online, you can find out more about that, coloradocollege.edu/CO pledge, and learn more about what that looks like and the details that are surrounding the Colorado Pledge. The last thing I would like to point out about merit scholarships is that when you do apply to Colorado College, after you submit your application, you're considered for a small merit scholarship. So you don't have to do anything differently for this one. When you submit your application, a small percentage of our incoming class, maybe around 10% or so, will be allocated a scholarship that ranges from $5,000 to $10,000 per year at CC. So because those are smaller scholarships, sometimes when families aren't sure, should I apply for financial aid, should I apply for merit, we always want you to apply for financial aid if you think you need it, because that's really where we prioritize our resources, is making sure that we can meet full demonstrated need. So that would be what I would keep in mind about merit scholarships for us. So again, you could apply for some special merit scholarships off of our website, or you could potentially be awarded one within $5,000 to $10,000. So in closing, where to go from here, what to do. If you would like to reach out to our financial aid staff, you can email them at financialaid@coloradocollege.edu, and we'll be really excited to hear from you and work with you throughout this process. And if you have any other questions at all, just reach out. And thank you so much for watching our final video as this 4-part series. Stay tuned for more videos. We're going to be working on creating more content for you, and just reach out in the meantime. We're here to help, and we look forward to working with you soon. Go Tigers!